everyone. Welcome back in. Last week we were talking about doing that 10 minutes of free writing and kind of looking at what was working and what was not working, and really kind of sitting with that. It is really helpful because I feel like it creates a roadmap of where you want to go and what you want to move on from. And you can do that exercise anytime, especially when you're stuck, especially when you're stuck in something that kind of doesn't, you just don't know how to get out of it. Writing is a great way to kind of transform and get you kind of out of the old routines and unstuck. So this week I wanted to talk a little bit about 7-layer bean dip because I feel like writing is a lot like a 7-layer bean dip. On the surface, right, it's perfect. It's sour cream, it looks glorious. And then underneath, of course, as soon as you dig a chip in there and you want to get to the good stuff at the bottom, it is completely messy. And this is exactly how our lives are, how our psyche is, and how, our writing can be, how we can just stay on the surface, everything's okay, but to really get to the good stuff, we got to get a little messy. And so that is my analogy with food, how we are. But I do think it is important to be playful when it comes to writing, because oftentimes the things that really matter, that really make a difference in our lives, are the messiest. They're right down there at the very bottom, and we got to go through all the other layers to get to them. So, having said that, this week we are doing a timeline. And I always love doing a timeline because it's a real eye opener. A lot of unexpected things come up when you start looking backwards. And, like, how did I get here? So, what we're going to do is kind of start with a first major moment that you really remember that really made a difference. I mean, this does not have to be traumatic, dark stuff either, okay? This is just about the foundations of our life, about how we think about ourselves, about who we are. I can think back to when I was in third grade and I won this award. It wasn't really an award. It was like my art design got to be the backdrop for the choir. We were doing some kind of, I don't know, third grade production, some singing production. And my brother is the artist in the family, and he's amazing. And I think for a lot of years, I never wanted to do art because I felt like, well, I can't do it like that. But when I looked back and I remembered this third grade experience in Mrs. Kurlikowski's class, I remembered how good it made me feel, and that I did have some artist in me. And it was a whole big thing. I got to get out of class. We got all this butcher paper in different colors. I got to pick two friends. We were out in the hallway while everyone else was doing math. It was awesome. So it's little bits like this that string together our lives and how we view ourselves and how we view how valuable we are or what we have to offer. So the timeline is a great way to get us thinking about those pivotal moments in our life that changed us or that built us into who we are now. And it gives a really great big perspective of how we got to where we are right now. So start thinking back, and you can kind of break it down into maybe decades or half decades, depending on how old you are. For us older folks, like, you got to go a decade. But if you're 20 something, yeah, pick the last few years and just go in increments like that about what is really made a difference in your life. And it's fun to explore, grab your journal and just start writing things out. It does not have to come out in a timeline the very first time. You can just start remembering bits and pieces and then put it together. And putting it together, I think, really shows a great picture of ourselves as a whole. So I hope you enjoy the exercise. If you have any questions or any comments, please write in the thread below. I'd love to answer them. And happy writing. I will see you next time.